Now on 7 News at 10.
You can't even see 3 feet in front of you.
A nasty nor'easter grips Massachusetts.
Right now, the story here, the howling winds on the Cape.
I am holding on to a light post here because the wind is the issue out here.
Dropping heavy snow across the Bay State.
Over here is a car that is completely buried.
Oh my gosh. Oh, when summer.
From damaging winds to flooded roadways, the night team has storm force coverage of Blizzard 2026. 7 News at 10 starts now.
First at 10, that blizzard tearing across New England today. Drivers left stranded in the snow in places like Bridgewater, which saw almost 3 feet of snow. Troopers say they responded to more than 400 stuck cars across the state. And a windshield wrecked in Kingston, where a massive tree branch crashed right through the front of a plow, the branch nearly hitting the driver. In Winthrop, a snowplow out clearing the roads, falling into a sinkhole because of a water main break. The street flooded during the height of the storm. The blizzard is moving out, but it'll be a long recovery for many communities.
The governor issuing a travel ban for parts of the South Coast and even deployed the National Guard. Meanwhile, more than 276,000 people are without power in Massachusetts tonight. National Guardsmen are helping out in Duxbury, where more than half the town is in the dark. Downed wires sparking trouble there earlier today. Crews say it could take days for power to be restored. And check this out on Nantucket, power lines seen tipped over from this massive storm, some of them falling right down into the middle of the road. Our reporters are out in the field covering every angle of this storm. Our night team coverage begins with 7's Dave Puglisi live in Bridgewater tonight.
Well, when you get 30 inches of snow, it's all got to go somewhere, right? Well, a lot of it ended up right here. Much of this snow was covering parking lots and the road, which was causing a lot of issues for cars that tried to venture into the snow. Major travel troubles at the height of the storm.
24 is actually one of the worst areas we've seen.
State police responding to dozens of vehicles stuck in the snow on Route 24.
Just stuck in here. Can't get past the snowbank. You know, a little bit of digging and trying. Stay off the roads. Be smart. Don't be idiots like me.
An 18-wheeler swallowed by the storm in Bridgewater, unable to keep going, as blizzard conditions made driving treacherous and forced the governor to issue a travel ban.
You can't be on the road on the Cape or on the South Coast.
As drivers continued to get stuck in snowbanks, we came across some hardy New Englanders not traveling by car or truck who were thrilled to see this much snow.
It really couldn't be better, snowmobiling.
I believe that. Yeah, snowmobiles were a great choice today, as cars really didn't stand a chance. If there's anything I learned from covering this storm since 5 a.m., it's to make sure that you bring a shovel with you when you're trying to drive through a blizzard. In Bridgewater, Dave Puglisi, 7 News Night Team.
Important to keep in mind. Thanks, Dave, for that. Now we want to head over to Sandwich, where we find 7's Stephen Quinn. Stephen, the big story down there today were the high winds, a lot of power outages. It looks like things might have improved out there tonight.
The conditions in terms of the weather certainly have proved, Kiki, and while you can use a shovel to clear out snow from the roads, what you can't clear out is this right here, down power lines, and that is what's stopping plows and stopping crews from getting where they need to go all across this area right now. You see the white, wet snow that we've been seeing through this blizzard still sticking to those power lines. It's also doing the same for many branches here. Just here in the town of Sandwich, we have at least 100 trees down, according to town officials. And as for the Cape itself, not many people coming or going from the Cape, for that matter. Take a look at the Sagamore Bridge, how it looked this evening. In a word, empty. Most people, of course, have been hunkered down for the entire day here on the Cape, and that ban on vehicles is still taking place along the entire South Shore and Cape for all non-essential traffic. Now, the damage also spans the entire length of the Cape. Power lines are down in Provincetown, and we're told more than 150,000 customers are without power across all of Barnstable County. In Falmouth, take a look at this. This driver okay tonight after a tree fell into a car. Power crews telling me that there are other cars that have been downed, or rather hit by power lines or branches as people were driving around earlier today. And here in Sandwich, where we are, work is already underway to try to clear the roads. Power crews are in place. They spent the day surveying the damage, logging it so they could begin the work after the storm passes. This man's son-in-law, who's operating this, drove down from Plymouth to ride out the storm.
Gosh, the wind was blowing like you can't believe. Maybe 70-mile-per-hour gusts and just ripping. Yeah, you could feel the house shake. We made chili last night, and that's lasted us the whole day. So hopefully we can get to the store tomorrow because we're running out.
And this is the site that so many people down here, still in the dark, at least like to see the lights from plows. They are out here working tonight. Now, as for those power outages with those lines down, we're told that could take days to get everything back online here on the Cape. There is a lot of work to do. And work now, as we are just having flurries, that is already underway, as you can see behind us. Putting live here in Sandwich tonight, Stephen Quinn, 7 News Night Team.
It was so frustrating. There's only so much we could do, and then we just waited for so long, and nothing happened.
That driver describing being stuck in the snow while heading into work. He says it took hours to get free. The Night Team's Samantha York live in Buzzards Bay with the details for us. Samantha.
Well, this is the kind of snow he was trying to work through. It's wet, it's compact, and it's really slippery when it gets on that road. That's what we've been seeing the effects of all throughout the day, of cars slipping and sliding on the road and getting stuck. And that's exactly what happened to him on his way to work.
Make a report. 4 hours, been stuck here.
Blizzard conditions moving across the Cape, leaving drivers stuck in the snow for more than 5 hours Monday.
I'm working the health career. I needed to get to work hours ago.
Jazari Salim is a certified nursing assistant at a nursing home in Buzzards Bay. He was heading into work just before noon.
We got over the Bourne Bridge and we got off to the on-ramp going to Buzzards Bay, and we suddenly hit a roadblock.
That roadblock being other cars stuck in the snow. With nowhere to go, Salim and his friend got out of the car, grabbed shovels, and started digging.
Where's he stuck on?
But while they made progress on the other cars, their own car was getting buried in.
Now we've been waiting for almost 6 hours. The snow is built up, and we're all now getting trapped in. It was so frustrating. There's only so much we could do, and then we just waited for so long.
They waited until shortly before 5 o'clock when another driver was able to use a chain and get them out. Salim was able to make his way into work. He says battling the elements is just part of the job for essential workers.
These residents do need our help, and it's very important and essential that they do get that help. It's required for us, and that's what we sign up for.
Now, he does tell me that the nursing home he works for did make accommodations for him tonight so that he could stay safe throughout the rest of the storm. Reporting live in Buzzards Bay, I'm Samantha York, 7 News 9 Team.
Pembroke also getting 30 inches of snow from today's storm. The Night Team's Rob Way is live there in the thick of it with a look at the conditions tonight. Rob, how are things there?
Kiki, we're in the jackpot here in Pembroke. 30 inches of snow, just unbelievable. The snow started about 24 hours ago, and we still have some small flakes still flying. This storm does not want to let us go tonight. Let me show you the conditions as they stand right now. This is Church Street, right near Route 3 in Pembroke. You can see we have a number of plows gassing up. They have a lot of work ahead of them, and then I want to show you the road here. It's pretty tough conditions on these back roads. Someone says the highways are a little better, one of the plow drivers we talked to. But as for these conditions, we helped a car that got stuck right here. We had to push it, get a little help from the state police to give it a shove. But I spent most of my day down in Marshfield, where they have not much power anymore. I think about half the town is without power, maybe about 40%. And they got a lot of snow. When last time I measured, it was about 26 inches, and then a couple more inches fell after we left. And I have to tell you, it took a lot trudging through that snow. It was tough, it is heavy, so it is very difficult to move around in, and it's difficult to shovel, difficult to clear. I talked with one guy who's driving one of these front-end loaders that you see all around town that are helping clear the snow, and he says it's even difficult for them to move it.
Obviously, this hard pack, even though it's a big, heavy machine, you got no traction, you're not going to move anything. So we're slipping, sliding, banging into curbs. We put the regular buckets back on them and started just scooping it. Because the big snow boxes aren't working.
So if that's not working, what's your advice to people who have just a normal car?
stay home. Stay home. Until this is cleaned up, stay home. It's just more of a headache having people around because one of those machines slides into a car. It's a nightmare.
And bring it back out here, we have plows hard at work. Again, this is Church Street and Pembroke. We have one plow coming through here, and these are the challenges they're facing. You can see how much snow they are still moving. Oh, this is a big one. He's moving a lot of it, and that's really great. People be able to get out of the house tomorrow once all these roads are clear and in far better shape than they are now. But yeah, some flakes still flying. Luckily, all that wind that we saw earlier in the day, far from what it was. It was near 70-mile-per-hour gusts we were getting. Far from that now, which is very good news for the cleanup now underway. Live here in Pembroke, Rob Way, 7 News Night Team.
In Kingston, a tree branch crashing down, smashing through the windshield of a plow truck. Police say the tree branch landed right between the driver's legs and went through the seat, missing him by just a few inches. The 7 Snow Tracker is out on the roads right now. This is a live look at Route 1A in Foxborough. The roads, they're clear in a lot of places. That one's definitely snow-packed. There's slush in some areas tonight. The blizzard is moving out, but a major mess is left behind. Meteorologist Josh Worster is here once again checking the forecast. Josh?
Yeah, so still a couple of flurries, but really, thankfully, that is all that is left. The snow, for all intents and purposes, is done. You see, yes, still a couple of flurries or a few isolated snow showers still out there. One of those may actually come right through downtown Boston, give us a couple of flurries. The only thing that might be a little bit steadier is this little wave that will spin on down. So this is the motion of the snow that's left, kind of wrapping in behind that area of low pressure. So that may spin on through probably from Hyannis to Harwich, Yarmouth, and then the outer Cape from P-Town all the way down toward Orleans. But man, what a storm. 20 inches in Malden, 15 in Melrose, and that's a few hours old, so I'd suspect you're probably at 18 like Chelsea or closer to 20 like Malden. Watertown, 14, Brighton, 16, Boston, 17, that's the Logan number. A lot of us up the North Shore, somewhere close to a foot of snow. Same story back through Worcester County, about 12 inches. So those were the low spots. You got a foot of snow. And then you went down south, we're talking 1, closer to 2, and in some cases 3 feet of snow. Look at this stripe in the white to cream color here. That is 30-plus inches of snow. Situate to Hanson, Brockton, Whitman, Bridgewater, Pembroke, Norton, Attleboro, all over 30 inches of snow, and a couple towns even actually 3 feet. That was a measurement. 36 at Acushnet, New Bedford 35, call it 3 feet. 36 in Westport and Fall River, at 34 inches. Just incredible. And this morning, did we have the wind? 70-mile-per-hour gust in Hull, 60s up the North Shore from Boston up to Gloucester, down the South Shore in the 60s. Wellfleet, you gusted to 77, and then most of us on the Cape with wind gusts somewhere around 70 miles per hour early this morning. Now, here's the good news. The wind has already backed out a lot, but it is still windy. It will continue to subside overnight tonight. It does stay on kind of the breezy side, but we're below these damaging winds that we've been plagued with through most of the day today. And it's breezy tomorrow morning, but thankfully tomorrow morning's breeze is more just putting a bite into the air than actually causing damage and taking down power lines and that sort of thing. We'll talk more about that coming up in your full forecast.
See you soon, Josh. A water main break causing problems for a plow in Winthrop. The damage flooded this street and caused a plow to fall right into the sinkhole here. A tow truck had to be called in to get the plow out. Night Team's Dan Housley continues our night team coverage.
Just off of Pleasant Street, this neighborhood, not so pleasant. Take a look at the street, flooded with water. You think you got problems with snow, with wind. Yeah, they've got that in Winthrop, but they also have power outages, water supply problems, and flooded streets. It started this morning with the power outage causing a couple of valves in the water system to open up, and that caused problems with water pressure throughout the streets of Winthrop. That caused sinkholes to collapse in the streets, one even trying to swallow a big piece of equipment, a plow, its wheel stuck in the hole, while others tried to rescue the driver there. Across the city, 1,500 people lost power, and the water supply was a problem for residents all over the area. It took most of the day to get the power supply back. That brought the water danger back, but now you have streets that are flooded, and you still have some homes that need to get their power back on. It's been a 1, 2, 3, 4 punch for the people in Winthrop, but they say they can deal with it.
We're expecting, almost 2 feet of snow, and with the heavy snow, we kind of expecting like down power lines and trees. So we kind of, everybody is kind of planned this ahead of time, and hopefully it won't be for long.
So Winthrop City officials say they got a handle on the power supply problems, and they're getting a handle on the water problems as well. As far as the streets and the snow, well, like everybody else, they say that's going to take days to clean up. We're in Winthrop. Dan Housley, 7 News.
First responders in Cohasset carrying a person who was hurt in a snowblower accident. That person was taken to a waiting ambulance, but that ambulance then got stuck and had to be shoveled out. And in Cranston, Rhode Island, another ambulance needed some help getting out of the snow. The city's mayor posting this video. A group of people, including first responders, helped push the ambulance and get it back there out on the road.
The wind and waves causing coastal concerns in Scituate. Homes along the shore battered by the blizzard. The storm, again, it reached the northeast ahead of high tide this afternoon, which was really helpful. The night team's Jonathan Hall has more from Scituate.
I was telling Jeremy, it really isn't that windy out here. And yeah. Well, I don't know if it's official or not in Scituate, but if it looks like a duck and walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And it definitely feels like a blizzard out here. This is a tough job out here, guys, and we're doing the best we can, but it is blowing hard in Scituate. We're going to try to get back to the car here and take just a little break, because this is definitely a good-sized storm, an old-fashioned nor'easter. You might be able to see some of these seagulls off to the right that are just sort of floating on the wind. It's just an amazing sight here. Mother Nature at its best and worst. They don't seem to mind the blizzard of 26 too much. Over here is a car that is completely buried. It looks like that probably has been here from some time. It's been plowed in. I feel like the guy walking out of the Field of Dreams in the Iowa cornfield, but this is more like the House of Horrors right now in Scituate. You know, it's low tide, so we figured we'd get away from the ocean and just show you this wild scene as the blizzard blows through the South Shore. The snow is really piling up here. It's difficult for me to walk. I'm doing great. No place I'd rather be. This piece of ice just fell off of our license plate, and you can see the indentation of the plate.
And to Duxbury now, the storm knocking down a tree and a utility pole, which blocked part of a road there. Sparks were flying, wind and snow blowing as crews worked to clear all that debris. National Guard on scene there. Duxbury's town manager requested their help for areas regular emergency vehicles can't get to. Governor Healy says she sent 4 guardsmen and some equipment to the town.
And here in Boston, people are now beginning to dig out. The city got more than 1.5 feet of snow. Schools canceled again tomorrow, giving crews time to clear streets and sidewalks. The night team's Samantha Coomer are in Boston with more.
It's easier to stay on top when it's heavy, right?
People across Boston digging out and hunkering down. Cleanup ramps up Monday night as crews work to clear the roads with the storm winding down. It's the second major storm to hit the city this season.
Because we've had so much snow already leading into this storm, the streets team has been really getting feedback, whether it's from our cyclist community or from neighborhood leaders or other residents, to understand how we could do things better as well. So we're trying out some new things,
including a longer parking ban through Tuesday evening so plows can clear the road, and focusing more on snow removal. City leaders are thanking residents for keeping the streets clear.
We're asking folks, until this emergency is actually over, please stay off the roads and allow public safety to do their jobs, and public works to, more importantly, make sure our streets and sidewalks are clear.
Another new approach this storm, Boston police used all-terrain vehicles to respond to emergencies and to navigate snowy streets. Boston's first blizzard since 2022, but for locals, it's just part of winter life in New England.
There's nothing you can do about it. Might as well just go with it.
A positive attitude is always great to put up with any situation, good or bad.
And that was Samantha Coomer reporting. Foxborough also getting more than 2 feet of snow. The night team's Kimberly Bookman braving the elements there today.
It was a very breezy, windy day here in Foxborough. That has now subsided, leaving us with more than 2 feet of snow, as you can see on top of that car right there, and a whole lot of ice, as you can see on our news vehicle right here. I am holding on to a light post here, hoping not to get knocked off my feet in wind gusts over 50 miles per hour. I grab onto something sturdy in Foxborough and do my best to stay put. Any moment you feel like you get blown over. That high wind pushing snow into the air, making for whiteout conditions on the roads.
We can see maybe 100 feet in each direction. It's dangerous for my guys. I tell everybody go slow as you can, because you never know. There's a lot of people working, out in on the ground shoveling. So it's just be really careful, because you can only see probably about a good 100 feet in front of you, and it's tough to stop.
The wind so strong, in fact, it compacts the snow. You can see it even gets stuck on the shovel, so it's difficult to move out of the way. Plow truck drivers say it will take a while to make a dent in removing the almost 30 inches of snow falling here.
We're kind of right now in the mode of just do what we can to make it as safe as possible, for any emergency vehicles, but we're probably not going to catch up to this until at least sundown tonight.
For those of you who followed our snow coverage all day long, first of all, thank you. Second of all, you may remember I took a bottle of wine and put it in the snow so it would be chilled by the time we were done with all of this coverage. It is officially chilled, ready to open. So cheers and be careful out there. In Foxborough, Kimberly Bookman, 7 News Night Team.
Some tree trouble in Wellesley. The gusts knocking the tree down, causing it to fall right onto a house. Luckily, nobody there was hurt. More property damage to report in the Mashpee area. The wind causing this big tree to fall, crushing a swing set in someone's backyard.
Just some breaking news now. 6 people taken to the hospital after a fire breaks out at a home in Spencer. The home on May Street was fully engulfed. When firefighters got to the scene there, several pets were killed. Crews from nearby towns were called in to help fight the flames. They say extra firefighters were working because of the blizzard. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Coming up next, this storm bringing some unique sights to the streets. This is an unusual way to get around on Comm Ave anyway. The blizzard making it a winter wonderland for cross-country skiers.
Certainly had to get creative to move around today. Up to 3 feet of snow in spots. We'll talk more about your forecast coming up.
More breaking news tonight in the disappearance of the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. What we're learning about the surveillance pictures and video released by the FBI.
And a court date for Nick Reiner, the man accused of killing his parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner.
And heroes headed home. The winning U.S. men's hockey team arrives back in the U.S. to a raucous welcome. We'll be right back.